So I will literally never forget this boardroom meeting from a few years ago. Just an absolute spreadsheet disaster. We had three department heads sitting around this big table, all looking at their own reports, and we realized that every single one of them had a completely different definition for the term active user.
Oh, no. That is a classic trap.
Right. Like one included trial accounts, one didn't, one excluded weekend logins. I mean, nobody actually knew how many users we had.
It is so common, though. We all want this, single source of truth, but raw business data is just inherently messy. And that specific ambiguity is exactly why AI has traditionally just crashed and burned when trying to handle business analytics.
Which is exactly what we're jumping into today for you. We're looking at how Anthropic actually cracked this code, figuring out how to get their AI, Claude, to accurately automate like 95% of business analytics queries.
It's a massive leap forward, truly.
Yeah, and real quick before we get into the actual mechanics of that, if you need help with AI training or automation or integration or software development, or you're just uncovering where agents could make the most impact for your business or personal life, check out embersilk.com for your AI needs. They are the sponsor of today's deep dive.
Highly recommend them.
So looking at Anthropic's challenge here, it really makes sense that AI struggles with data. Like generating code is easier because code either runs or it doesn't. There are natural guardrails. But with data, there's usually only one correct answer, and it's buried in this massive database.
Right, exactly. The AI has absolutely no context for what it's looking at.
Yeah, I picture it like sending this master chef into a giant pantry where all the cans have their labels ripped off. Like, the chef knows how to cook, obviously, but they have no idea if they are grabbing crushed tomatoes or dog food. It just creates this false sense of precision.
That is a great analogy, and if they just start cooking, you get a disaster. I mean, Anthropic saw this happening in three main ways. First is concept ambiguity, just like your boardroom story.
Right, the active user problem.
Exactly. The AI grabs the active user can, but it doesn't know if that includes fraudulent accounts. Second is data staleness, because, well, business definitions change over time.
Oh, for sure. Definitions evolve constantly.
Yeah, and the third is retrieval failure, where the AI just gets completely lost in the sheer volume of data tables. It is overwhelming.
So if the core issue is that the AI doesn't know what's inside the cans,
Yeah.
you can't just fix that by giving it access to a bigger pantry, right?
You really can't. Though it's funny because they actually tried that. Early on, Anthropic ran an experiment where they gave Claude raw access to thousands of perfectly executed historical queries.
Oh, wow. They thought it would just learn the patterns.
They did. But the accuracy improved by less than 1 percentage point. Just
Yeah.
throwing raw data at the AI didn't work at all because it lacked underlying structure.
Huh. So they had to build, like, a master inventory list first.
Yeah, they built what they call the agentic data stack. The first layer is data foundations, which basically forces the company to establish one governed official answer for every metric. But the real key is adding a semantic layer on top of that.
A semantic layer. How does that work in practice?
Think of it as a strict internal dictionary. Before the AI does any math, this dictionary explicitly forces it to understand that, say, revenue means the exact same thing every single time.
Okay, so the AI knows the definitions now. But how does it actually navigate the database without getting lost in the weeds?
So they introduced this routing system called skills. These are basically just simple text folders full of step-by-step instructions.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so if a user asks about user growth, the skill acts as a checklist saying, stop, before you search the whole database, read this specific reference file on growth metrics first.
That makes total sense. It's
Yeah.
essentially giving the AI a standard operating procedure. And the jump in performance is wild, right? Because without those routing skills, Claude was only getting, what, 21% of analytics questions right?
Right, just 21%. But with them, it hit over 95%.
That is incredible, over 95% accuracy.
And to catch that remaining tiny margin of error, they built in an adversarial review phase. So cool. Before Claude gives the user a final answer, it spins up a separate subagent.
Wait, a separate agent?
Yeah. And its only job is to aggressively audit the math and challenge the main AI's assumptions. That internal devil's advocate boosted accuracy by another 6%. Plus, they attach a provenance footer to the bottom of the output showing the exact data sources used.
So you aren't just blindly trusting a black box, but let me push back on this for a second. If you have an AI agent successfully navigating the database, auditing its own math, and hitting 95% accuracy, what are the human analysts actually doing?
You mean, are they obsolete?
Right. Doesn't the company just look at this and see a massive opportunity to cut headcount?
It is a totally fair fear, but it really misunderstands what analysts actually want to be doing and what humans are best at. Automating the rote slog of pulling routine numbers doesn't make humans obsolete at all. It frees them up.
It frees them from just being SQL query monkeys.
Exactly. When an AI handles the repetitive task of fetching the daily active user count, human teams are finally empowered to tackle, like, complex causal modeling, meaning they can investigate why user retention dropped, or they can design entirely new metrics.
So they can stop acting like human calculators and really start acting like strategic innovators,
Right.
focusing on advanced forecasting and all that.
Yes. It is a huge leap forward for human potential. We get to do the creative, complex thinking that we are naturally built for. It's incredibly optimistic for the future of the industry.
I absolutely love that perspective. So for everyone listening to Intellectually Curious today, I want to leave you with a thought to mull over. If AI agents can now be programmed to aggressively cross-examine their own underlying data assumptions before presenting a final answer, how might that inspire you to cross-examine your own daily cognitive biases?
Oh, that is a great question to end on.
Right. Well, if you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe to the show. Hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in, and stay curious.